Hi, I'm Becky, and I am reading to you from the book How to Use Power Phrases. I've so enjoyed this book, and I keep talking about it, and I figured we might as well look at some of it together. Okay, started on page 6. I want you to know that there are times that silence isn't golden. There are 4 times that we're going to go through. One is silence isn't golden when people need to know that you care. Silence isn't golden when people need to know your thoughts and opinions, even though they might not want to hear them. Silence isn't golden when people need to be kept in the loop. And silence isn't golden when people are doing or saying something that's going to affect you negatively. Okay, silence isn't golden when people need to know the truth. I'm sorry. Okay, so let me tell you a story about Sheila. She backed off at the first sign of resistance from her boss. She wished she hadn't in the end. Silence was not golden. Her boss had been everything she respected in a manager. He was communicative, intelligent, and he even told her like where he was going when he was leaving the office and what he was about to do. He was successful and rich. So Sheila had a habit of not questioning him. When he asked her to transfer funds, she expressed a little protest, and she said, "Aren't you asking me to transfer partnership funds into a private account?" He responded, "Sheila, are you suggesting I'm having you do something illegal?" "I wouldn't do that. Now please do what I'm paying you to do." So she put her hand over her mouth, she muted herself, and she did what she was asked without question. A year later, she found herself a co-defendant in a lawsuit. Sheila would have given anything to have spoken tall and to have had a power phrase to use, such as, "Boss, I am not willing to make this transfer until it's made clear to me that it's appropriate." What about Janet? Janet was a nurse in a clinic. She also greatly regretted her silence. One of the doctors was everything Janet did not like in a manager or a man. He was arrogant. He was elitist. He even had a comb over on his hair. And when Janet mentioned that she thought something was wrong with the patient, her boss said, "Janet, I have a great idea. Why don't you be the nurse and I'll be the doctor?" Janet was stunned. She put her hand over her mouth. She went on mute, and she decided not to make any more suggestions. 2 weeks later, a young man came into the office. Janet suspected he had meningitis, but she didn't say anything. 2 days later, the young man passed away from meningitis. Janet relived this event several times, imagining instead of cowering that she had risen up, spoken up, and said, "I understand you prefer not to hear my opinion, but I feel compelled to offer it because I suspect this man has meningitis." How about you? When is your hand over your mouth? Who keeps you from speaking? What price have you paid for silence? Silence is golden when it's called for. Silence is deadly when it's not. Don't think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. I'm sure a lot of you have stories. I would love to hear them. Put them in the comments or just call me. Let's talk about them. And let's read the book together, How to Use Power Phrases, and grow stronger and more articulate. Learn to say what we mean what we say, and get what we want. Talk soon.